Here we go, first video. First video about me helping you how to get to a university in the United States to be an athlete and to study and to get education for free because you're awesome and you're good in your sport and you're also smart. So this first video is going to be about the English knowledge and how the United States is testing your English knowledge in order to study in the USA, right? So I got some questions and feedback from a lot of you guys on, how well does my English have to be in order to study in the United States? So just a heads up, everybody will treat you just like a domestic student. So only because you're from a different country doesn't mean you have different assignments. You're gonna have the exact assignment like your American friend on the chair next to you. So they're gonna make no differentiation between you, who might have a little harder because you speak a different language, nothing. So you have to know that. Therefore, the United States developed a so-called Toefl test. And the Toefl test is there to test your knowledge and to rank it and to score it and see how well you fit into the system and if the university you're eyeing will accept you. Or you just want to do it as a baseline and see what university you could get into. But I would just tell you that you should always aim high because as for ranking, 1 obviously is like you have no idea what you're talking about, and 100 is like you're really an expert. As for me, I scored in the low 90s on that test, which I thought I knew English really well, so for me it was kind of an eye-opener too. So make sure you do study really well for this test. There are different books out there. There are books with CDs out there. I can recommend some to you if you have questions. However, I want to tell you that the Toefl test is not just sitting in front of a computer and typing that Maria went to church with her brother and she had her lunch with her. No, this is not how it's going to be. It's going to be crazy intense. It's going to be intense topics. It's going to be law. It's going to be history. And it's going to be biology. This is not just getting by in the English knowledge and ordering, a cupcake. This is like intense stuff, so be prepared for this, study well for this with the books I am going to recommend to you. And then secondly, know that this test is going to be 4 hours straight. It's a 4-hour straight average test, so make sure you bring something to eat and also make sure you drink. However, if you need to go to the restroom, they might not really want that. So they're trying to avoid that you go out and might cheat because you have to look something up. So maybe try not to, even though sometimes it's hard and you're nervous and stuff, but this is just from my experience. This is what they told everybody. And then the third thing, and I didn't know that, and it was crazy to me because nobody told me. I did my Toefl test in Berlin. So when I entered the room, I literally saw 5 different rows with 10 to 15 cubicles next to each other. So you have cubicles, you have your little square, you have your TV, your PC and you have your keyboard and you have a headset, right? And there are about 30 to 40 other people in the room, right? So you have to know that, first of all, it might be a little stressful, right? So the teacher comes in and he says, everybody, so congratulations, you're taking tests today. I just want to let you know that the USA is really hard country to study and to work. So just as an FYI, the Toefl test is also a stress test. So just saying that your partner next to you or the person in front of you might do a whole different task than what you're doing. So we are shuffling the tasks around, meaning that when you have to basically concentrate on the Chinese monarchy, somebody behind you might talk about a crazy fish that steals eggs from somebody else's nest. This is straight up crazy. So be prepared that the tasks will be shuffled and somebody else next to you might listen and you might have to speak. So really, really, really focus on that. But I know that if you are a really good athlete, focusing should not really be a problem, even though, I mean, it's good to know these things, right? And then it takes a little bit. For me, it was about a week or two until I had my score, my ranking, and then you can go to the universities under admission or academics, and I can lead you through that as well and see what the requirement is for the certain test, right? So that was that in a nutshell. I can go into details if you want to. Other than that, really good news. I got in contact with the University of Tennessee. I got in contact with the University of Connecticut, and I got in contact with Manhattanville College, the college I studied, which is actually academic and athletics. So I can get into that later, that you do not only have to be a superb athlete, there are also options to get academic scholarship on top of that. So yeah, they're all on board, they're excited. So I'm just gonna share what's going on next, and yeah, stay tuned, this is awesome.